Hey Goops, it's Goblin. Today we have someone who has art in literally all of our favorite books, is a newbie romance author, knows a thing or two about burnout, and you'll probably find her shit posting online about books. This is Alicia MB. Hey, it's Goblin. Are you ready to yap?
Hi.
I'm so happy you're here.
Thank you for posting that random thing on Threads that someone then tagged me in, and I was like, "Hey, let's gap," and then we're here. And thanks for just going along with it.
That is how 90% of my life happens, is I said it on Threads one time and now it's a thing.
Now it's a thing. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. I have sequestered my husband and dogs downstairs, so I have the upstairs to myself, so I can yap.
I
You'll be
love. I love it so much. Okay, so when did your love affair with books begin?
okay. Great question. I was a weird kid, so you know, books were my friends. And I'm pretty sure that that's a pretty standard response for a lot of, yeah. But I moved around a lot as a kid.
Mm.
I lived in different countries for most of my life up until like early middle school, like elementary school age. So I was constantly moving and making new friends. And I guess I didn't care that I was weird when I was young, but there was all of a sudden a point when I started actually noticing. So I'm like, oh, okay. Um, and books became kind of like that solace for me. I did make friends later in life. I'm good. Trauma resolved. But it was just from a young age. I always really loved reading. My drug of choice was the Mary Kate and Ashley mystery series.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that was because that was available in Italy where I lived. Um, and it was just, I guess Mary Kate and Ashley had a global presence. Very proud of
Yes.
them. But I just ate it all up. And it was like, there's the mystery ones with the Basset Hound. And then there was like the Two of a Kind book series where they're in like boarding school or something. I don't know. Every single, like constantly reading those. So that was like kind of like always a part of my personality. Um, Read throughout high school, college, yes, but I was obviously overwhelmed by the fact that now I was like reading business textbooks because I have a business degree. But so it kind of slowed down a bit. It was always there. But like many people, it kind of revved back up big time during COVID. Um, More specifically, I mean, like, okay, I read more than the average person before COVID, but COVID happened. I actually got like OG COVID, like pre vaccine. I was bedridden for about 4 months.
Oh my.
Um, yeah, it was not a great time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, so all I was doing was working from my laptop from bed and then reading because it's like I couldn't really do anything else.
Mhm.
And then that really like resparked it. It was another kind of escape. I was able to do things, but just in the brain instead of physically. And that kind of just like resparked it, except it became a lot more of an obsession. And well, they say it like now that I'm in my 30s, like they say your 30s are just you and your 13, but with money. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. And so like this is just like my whole personality now.
I
Um,
love that. I
but
love be I love being able to do things as an adult with big or the things you liked as a kid, but with big kid money.
yes, it's great. Like now, like all my books are tax write-offs. Like, come on. Like, let's be so for real. This is amazing.
Honestly, I feel like mine are as well.
They
I
should
need
be.
to I need to get on that.
Consult with an accountant.
Yes. Oh yeah, obviously, consult a professional here.
But
Oh my gosh. That's
loophole. It's pretty great.
I love a loophole. So have you always been an artist or is that a new thing?
Yeah, so I always made art since I was a little kid. So my abuela is an artist. So she would always like for Christmas would get me like those like cute like pastel kits and things to like encourage art. And my mom was a sculptor just by hobby. And I think growing up, I spent a big chunk of my childhood in Rome where art was just literally everywhere. So it was always a big part of my life. And then in high school, I was in AP art class, and this is actually going to be like a dedication in my future book, but not a great dedication, but a petty one. My AP art teacher, she, okay, so my paintings slapped. I'm gonna say that, but they were too whimsical for her. Um, so she legitimately said that I was too whimsical to be taken seriously. So she discouraged me from pursuing art as a career. And I was like, honestly, fair. I did not deal well with art authority. It was not going to work anyway.
Mhm.
Um, and like I work full time HR, so like I am actually like business person, but um, that kind of slowed down the art, right? Um, until it was, I don't know, mid college. I kind of like picked it back up. I was interning at like my friend's mom's small office, right? Just being office bitch, essentially. Sorry if you need to bleep. I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss. I cuss
No,
a
you're
lot.
allowed.
Okay.
You're allowed.
And they got a puppy, and it was an office puppy. And my friend's mom knew that I did art in high school, right? So she convinced like the CEO of the office, like small company, to commission me to paint a royal pet portrait of the puppy. And I was like, all right, let's do this. And that started actually a business that lasted from college through part of my career where I literally just painted people's pets in fancy clothing. Um,
Nice.
and all that money was just my fun money. So like I had that going. It wasn't ever book related until COVID happened. And I kind of like slowed down on painting people's pets because there's only so many variations of like queen garb you can put on a chihuahua before it becomes too much. um, yeah, and like people at like my office job were commissioning me to paint their pets, and like it was great and it was fun, but I hit a saturation point, and I was like, I think I am done with that. And then this whole reading ferociously, couldn't do anything. I needed some sort of creative outlet, so my husband actually got me a sketchbook and some pencils, and it's just like, hey, this is something. It's not a mess because I painted acrylic, right? So like I couldn't paint acrylic, make a huge mess. I was like in bed. Um, so he got me like a really nice sketchbook and some pencils, and like we're like, this is something I can do on the couch. I can do it wherever. Um, and then just I realized that I had these like visions of what characters looked like always. And I was like, you know what? Why don't I actually give it a shot? So like if you scroll way back in my like 2021 Bookstagram page, like it's all pencil portraits of
Yeah.
characters. So that's really where it started. It was I always liked art, and this was a way for me to be creative and do something when I physically couldn't do a lot of things. So it was like that perfect timing of constantly reading and then finding that creative outlet, and then it just kind of blossomed from there.
That's
Like I
awesome.
yeah, and I'll give a shout out because digital art and all that, right? I didn't do any digital art until Steph Brown. She has like 1,000 jobs. But she works for Bookish Box. She curates Darkly.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
runs it's Book Cuties, like City Fling. She worked for a Polycon for a while, but she commissioned me for my very first thing, and she's like, "Can it be digital?" And I'm like, "Sure." And I went and bought an iPad that day. I was like, "Yeah,
Yep.
why not?" So, yeah, I could do that. So the fake it
Yep.
till you make it thing I was saying earlier, that was pre-recording. No, like really, I literally was like, my husband and I were like, he's like, okay, let's just go get. How hard could it be? And it was hard. Um, but I mean, it was good. But it was like huge shout out to Steph because she was my very first commission in the book world. So and she's still a really close friend of mine. So we work together a lot.
That's really interesting that, like, well, I relate very heavily to just saying yes and figuring it out after. Like,
Yeah,
that has, that's a lot of artists' lives, I think. We're just like, well, the answer is yes, but like, we'll figure it out.
logistics. I'm not being paid to know logistics.
Yeah. Yeah. That's above my pay grade. We'll
Yeah.
get there when we get there. But what I love is your art style. It
Mhm.
very much translates to that like acrylic
Mhm.
world. So I
Yes.
love that, like, even though you went digital, you're still like it's still attached to that like basis of acrylic art that you
Mhm.
you came from.
Yes. And I loved. I mean, I haven't painted acrylic. I guess I painted over the summer once. We did a Bob Ross friends group thing. Um,
Cute.
but I do acrylics because I am so impatient and I hate oil paints because they take a really long time to dry and I couldn't do it. Um, but then that's what's nice about digital is that I could translate that need to like immediately change whatever I just did. And it's like you don't have to like wait for it to dry and blah blah blah. I can press an undo button. It's pretty great. Um,
I love an undo button.
I love her.
I I will design something online and then I'll be like, okay, let me sketch something to like get my thoughts out and then put it digital. And so I'll be sketching and I'm like, there's no control Z. What the hell?
And I tried to like zoom in on the paper and I'm like,
Yeah,
what is happening?
it's not it's not working.
God,
Wow.
it's hard
Such
to go
first
back.
yeah, first world problems, honestly.
Oh God, how I suffer.
However will we go on, honestly. Oh my gosh. Okay, so with obviously your book stories, your art stories, what made you decide to start writing?
This is great. Okay, so okay, apparently my entire life I've been telling people I was going to write a book, but I conveniently repressed that memory. Um, like incredible, like, but okay, so like to make it make sense, I've been with my husband since we were 14 and 15. Like, we've been together for 17 years. Yeah.
Okay.
So he's my dude. He gets me, and apparently, he told me every couple of months or years or whatever he'd check in and be like, so like book writing, right? And I'd be like, no. And then there was one time I did try to dabble, but I was too much. I'm not like other girls, and the story wasn't. And I am exactly like other girls, and I've embraced that now in my 30s.
Absolutely.
But so every once in a while he check in because it's something like he knows me and he knew that that was like apparently I had told everybody except myself. But it was actually in December of last year. So like this is a whirlwind kind of story, but December 18th. So he and I we take our little mental health walks every day because the world. And on one of our walks, it was December 18th, 2024. We were joking around about just like fantasy jobs and different like stuff in like books and movies and whatever. And like something came up, and I was like, you know what? Like we were kind of like in those we're stuck in corporate job moments. And I was like, even if I was in a fantasy world with all this magic, I'd still be stuck in an email job. And then all of a sudden he looked at me and I looked at him and I'm like, and then I built an entire paranormal rom com over that concept. Um, and it's just, he looked at me and he's like, it's time. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, it's now. And I'm like, what? And he's like, you're going to write the book. And I'm like, yes, the book. And then like I went and like took a shower like after our walk, and he's like cooking dinner or something. And like the whole time I'm in the shower, I'm like dissociating, just like being like, and I walk out and he's like, did it come to you? And he's like, I've been like subliminally planting this in your mind for years. Like, and I was like, finally the time. And like he checked in and he's like, so book. And I'm like, we'll see. He's like, great. I have a detailed schedule and a plan on how we're going to accomplish this.
Shout out to husband.
Right? No, he gets me. He's an accountant. He's like very organized.
Amazing.
And like literally he's like, he's thought this through because he knows one, my ADHD makes me think sometimes like I try a new hobby and I get really into it and then I like quit and never ever touch it again. I went through a needle felting phase, like it was a whole thing. But but he was basically like, okay, so after work from like 4 to 6, that is your writing time. I'll cook dinner, I'll take care of the dogs, I'll do anything. When you're writing, it's your writing time. And that's like protected time every day. I mean, he already does the cooking and the cleaning anyway.
Yeah.
But like it was more of just like that, whatever it is going on after work hours, like it's your time to write. So he like really helped me just like buckle down. Like I finished the first draft and edits in 2 months. Yeah, so it was like almost exactly 2 months from the day I started writing to sending it out to betas.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
yeah, it was quick, but it was one of those we realized we were in this point right now where we have the time and we do not have children right now. So it's like I can do the thing where like I'm working 3 jobs, I'm going a little insane, but now is like the time I can do that without feeling guilty. Like I'm not putting anybody on a back burner.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, let's go. So we just, I don't know, we just kind of went for it. And I think I would have gone insane without him like taking care of all of, the general household admin role kind of tasks.
Yes.
But he took a lot of that off my plate so that I could write. So it's been just, I mean, like this has all been within less than a year. But wrote my first book, baited it, edited it, queried, signed with an agent. We're out on sub. I just finished draft 1 of my second book and I'm in edits of that now. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, I'm losing it. So when we were like, she knows a little bit about burnout. I'm like, I sure do. I am the queen of overcommitting to things and apparently talking a lot. So sorry if I'm rambling.
No, that's literally what a podcast is for. You're good.
Fair. Yeah, but that's kind of, it all just kind of came from there. And it all started from just like a silly conversation on a walk and then him being ready for it. Like, I think if it wasn't something that he was so already bought into, like he was like, you're going to be a writer. Like, we know that. Like, he's talked to me before and I'd be like, no, I just make the art for the stories. The authors tell the story. He's like, but you could have your own. I'm like, ew, no. But like he was ready.
No.
So it's like he was like waiting in the wings, just waiting for that slight tentative maybe. And he's just like, go, 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 go. And I was like, okay, I just needed someone to like be like a number one cheerleader from the second I even thought of it. He has not read this book. He's probably not going to read it anytime. Like it's not, we don't want that. We like to live in this world where no matter what I write to him, it's amazing because he hasn't read it.
Beautiful.
It's like Schrodinger's book. Like it's both amazing and terrible, but he won't know. So he can just choose that it's amazing. And I need that. Yeah.
That's so cool that he was just like ready. I think it's a not talked about enough as a creative, as a artist of any kind. Like you need to have that support system who they like fully understand what it's like to be a creative, especially somebody with ADHD. I'm very, yes, I get it. And like doing things and then deciding you hate it and never wanting to touch it again. And
yeah, I had a drum set for a while. I have a bow and arrow from a different time.
Amazing.
But we made this one stick. I mean, art and writing. I mean, it made sense for it to stick. And when I was telling like some of my like friends, like my roommate in college was like, "Duh." I'm like, "What do you mean, duh?" She's like, "Well, you said you were going to write a book." I'm like, "I literally have no memory of this. I do not believe you." And then my mom was like, "Okay, yeah, you're writing a book, obviously." I'm like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, no.
Wow, you repressed that memory
so hard. I think I repressed a lot of it just to like out of like self-preservation that like maybe if I never wrote a book, I wouldn't be disappointed in myself.
Yeah.
And like looking back, I'm like, oh, I need to unpack that. But everyone, not a single person has been surprised.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
which is like
really
embarrassing.
Cool. No.
Like, obviously, it only took you till what, 30? Okay. I was like, oh.
You needed to wait until you had big kid money and big kid time and
yes. No, everything, it worked out when it needed to work out. And like I'm really lucky in that like I have really great relationships in the book community already because I've been a part of the community for years. So it's not like I'm just like randomly opening the door saying like, honey, I'm home, read my stuff. I'm like, these are my friends, these are my people. Hopefully they like it.
They do. I've seen all of the comments about it. Please. I would literally see them all the time. I'm like, oh, there's another person saying Alicia's book is amazing. Like, come on.
I just think I'm a really funny person, so naturally I had to go rom-com. But no, I hope it lands. Obviously the book world is complicated, especially I'm doing trad publishing, which is a thing and it is scary. But considering I work a lot, I knew that I didn't have the capacity to be the one woman indie business powerhouse. Like indie authors scare me because they're really productive. Like I want somebody to hold my hand and tell me they'll take care of distribution for me.
Mm.
Like, I don't want to know what an ISBN is. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know how to format a book or how to get it into a store or how to literally upload it into any, like, no, don't.
Wow, that's really funny.
Yeah,
But
like, just
also
take it.
so valid, like honestly, so valid. So with the decision to like go trad, like did you ever have an idea of like going indie or has it always been like I'm gonna write it and go trad and if it doesn't go trad,
Well, I don't know. So a lot of my close friends are indie authors, right?
yeah.
Um, and or a lot of them started as indie. Maybe they're hybrid now or whatever. Like, I have endless amounts of respect for it, and I considered it in the past. I'm like, okay, I have kind of a platform. It's not like I have like 100,000 followers, but like I have a decent start, right? I could
Yeah.
probably do it. Um, but all of this was happening. At first I was writing a book for myself. I just wanted to write a book. And if it was good, great, we'd go from there. If it sucked, well, hey, I wrote the book. So none of the decision making was happening yet. But in February, when I finished writing the book at my big kid job, there were a lot of layoffs. And all of a sudden, my workload went, like, half my team was let go. And my workload has increased really dramatically. And I was in this spot where I wasn't comfortable being the one to have to invest the money first. So what I learned, because I talked with a lot of different authors, trad and indie, deep dive into things. And for trad, you sacrifice your time up front. That is what you pay up front, is your time. Because you have to query, you have to sub, you have to do this. It might not work. You might try book 3. So that's the thing you give. That's the resource you have. In indie, you have to do a little bit. You have to financially put that money up front. You hire your own editor, your cover artist. You do what you need to. You don't need a giant budget. You can do it, balling on a budget. But it's money up front, but less time, or it's time up front, and hopefully money comes to you later. And it was one of those decisions financially I was making that I could sacrifice time. But with the economy the way it is right now and my workload and everything, like, I didn't think that it was the right time for me to sacrifice financially. I mean, I did sacrifice financially for this, and that every time I'm working on writing, I'm not making art. And so there was a huge deficit in money this year. But it would have been worse if I'm writing and paying into the system and like trying to market into these things. So it came down to the fact that I'm a practical person with a business degree, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm going to give it a shot, trad, because I have the time for that. And I like the concept really of having a team. Like, I love my agent. I love knowing that it's not just me out there screaming into the void. It is at least one other person screaming into the void with me. She's contractually bound to scream with me. And she gets my sense, like, so like I wanted that team. I wanted to feel like I had somebody who was like just as invested in this outside of my husband, who I share finances with.
Has it been hard sitting on it? Because you said you wrote it in 2 months, had it to betas. Has it been because that was like a year ago, right?
Almost. It was like 9 months. I don't know. I have no concept of time. That was like February and March. But once I got my agent, we did our own round of edits. And now we are just in the limbo zone. And it will be, no matter what, if this book is picked up, it will be a while before it comes out. And I think that will kill me. But so what I did is what every author friend ever told me, it's like, they've all said, just start writing the next thing. Pretend you don't even have a book one. Just write. So like my, Sarah Hawley, she is amazing. She like literally like coached me through so much of this, because like in querying, she critiqued my query letter. She's amazing. I love her. Read her books. She's phenomenal. But I was like, help, I'm dying. And she's like, we've been there. What you have to do. You know what you have to do. I'm like, no, don't. She's like, you know what you have to do. And I'm like, I have to keep writing. She's like, you have to keep writing. So that's what I did. So I've thrown myself my entire sense of worth into book 2, which is unrelated to book 1, but still like rom-com, speculative, magical. Because if I just sit around and acknowledge the fact that I have zero control over what's happening with book one, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
Absolutely lose it.
That that would make me go crazy, I think. That would
Yeah.
make me go a little crazy. I like the idea of indie publishing for like people who need that instant gratification
Mhm.
because I couldn't handle not like it being done, edits, everything, and then just being like, all right, let me know.
Yeah. Just waiting.
Do you,
It's fine.
do you like me? Like, tell me you like me,
No, but like
please.
literally, there's like the song, it's like Love Fool by the Cardigans, and it's like love me, say that you love me. And I'm like, that's
That's
me.
just
I
in
just
repeat.
like literally I'm like, please like me, somebody like me, anybody like me. I'd be so cute to be liked. I promise I will be very good at being liked.
That's so valid.
Yeah.
Okay, so we touched on it a little bit, but
Yeah.
with burnout, like
Yeah.
obviously we've talked about all of the things that you do, and I relate heavy. Burnout as a
Burnout.
creative, as a corporate girly, as all of the things, dude. That's a killer.
Yeah. I realized I have like this year I've had like three streams of things. And so we're not even talking about things like maintaining friendships and going outside and being a good wife and potentially like interacting with the outside world. So that's, but just like in general, like I have work, corporate, like I have a master's degree that I went, like I studied for this, like I'm doing the work. And it's gotten harder this year and obviously in this current gestures vaguely everywhere. Um, so like that's gotten a lot. And then art, like it was hard because there were years that I've taken on way too many projects. But then, so I'm like, I always told myself, no, I'm going to take fewer projects, take fewer projects. But then I still managed to take too many projects. And then I started writing and then like dopamine released while writing. So I'm like, naturally, I'm going to spend all my time writing, gonna forget everything else I'm doing. um, and it hit like critical mass probably over the summer. So I was very, very lucky that I was working with fantastic clients. So Simone, she had her like Priest series Kickstarter, right? So I made the step back covers, and it was on the last one, and I was taking so long to do it, and I was like so upfront with her. I'm like, this will be done. I promise it will be done before the Kickstarter launches. I'm just burned out. Like, and I was just like, I would get anxiety even looking at my iPad because I think something had to give, and my brain determined. Sorry if that's shaking. Determined that that was like the safest option for me
Mm,
to give up because like can't work. Like I need my job.
of
I need
course.
I need health benefits. Um, and this writing thing is so new and so precious to me that I'm like, I have to give it at least a year before I give up on that. So it's not like I gave up on art, but I really like had to sit down and have like this. I mean, it was a horrible feeling to just be like, I cannot give as much as I want to this. Um, so like I've been very like I took like almost a couple months off after I finished that. I'm trying to wade back into it. I'm working on a project right now that I'm like excited about. It's like you're getting past like this weird anxiety block I put in front of art. Um, because I think I was so busy and then all of a sudden I took a little break. And then my body is like, what if you forgot how to be an artist? What if everything you do is going to be terrible? What if you should have quit a long time ago? And like, oh, like
Of
it's just like
course.
the burnout demons. Um, so I've been like dealing with that in the background. Really, really, really lucky that I've had like supportive book friends, art friends. I was able to finish the projects I needed to get finished on time, and I feel bad. Like one of my good friends, like I've owed her a painting for a very long time. It's not like it's like paid for and I'm not doing it. It's just like I haven't started on it. But she gives me 1,000 extensions because she gets that like I'm burned out and like I want to do it so bad. But as you just look at something and like I physically cannot start like executive dysfunction times 1,000.
Yeah.
So I've been working through that. And like I feel guilty. So I'm part of the group. So have you ever heard of like the Bookish Artists compendium, like Discord, whatever? So there's the
I've heard
website.
of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, bookishartists.com. It's basically like from a group. So I was one of the founders of a group where we started pulling in and essentially unionizing book artists.
Cool.
That was like a really big sense of purpose for me a couple years ago. So like Artie Wings, Matt Schofield, Nariel Art, Rosie Thorns 88. She's a big one in there. Um, and like, so we put together this beautiful artist community. We've had so much fun. I've like grown it. Like we have all this going on, but like this year, like my mod, I just could not be a mod. Like I'm still technically a mod, but I just didn't have the bandwidth to like interact with other artists very often outside of like my core group of like art besties, like Gemlin. Like I still talk to her like every day. But it was weird. Like I've just been having to sit with myself to be like, I don't have like unlimited resources of myself to give to everything I want to do. And I think battling, so I have also have chronic illness. And just like dealing with all that, it's been really hard, humbling to be like, oh, I am not capable of doing literally everything all at once. And it kind of like hit that breaking point, and I'm working through it. Like the good news, I never lost energy around writing, and I'm still able to do my work job. It's just I think something had to give, and for this year, a lot of it has been art, and that kind of sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah. It's also just like being honest with yourself that like you can't do it all.
Yeah.
This is me telling me this after the
Yeah.
week that I just had. Like
Really.
my husband, yeah, my husband literally 2 days ago was like, "So I think we figured out what your limit is, and it's less than this." And I was
No,
like,
yeah. Yeah.
"Yeah, probably."
Yeah. And I'm like, no, I raised in the girl boss era. Like I should be able to have it all. I don't even have kids, so how can I not do it all? I'm like, oh, but I have like
Same.
literally 8 to 9 hours a day that's booked for work. Then I have hopefully at least 8 hours of sleep. Then that leaves this chunk of time where I need to fit everything in from writing to art to watching television, as spending time with people around me, um, doing literally anything outside of sitting in a dark hole doing like working. I'm like, oh, I need to reprioritize a little bit. Um, so working on that.
Yeah.
If somebody like finds like a magical solution, I would be really open to that.
Me too. Let me know.
Yeah, or like, okay, not to get too political, but like universal health care, that would solve a lot of this issue.
It really would.
Yeah.
It really actually would. So my husband is a creative as well, and so am I. So we're full-time creatives. And so we both are dealing with like burnout interchangeably a lot of the time. And
Yes.
so it's like one of the weeks it's like the house is gonna look an absolute disaster and we're just gonna high five and
It's
keep
gonna be
going from
fine.
there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you learn what things are less important when you don't have the bandwidth to care about everything.
Yeah.
Um, but I mean, I'm working through it. Like, I think what helped me a lot so far is that I stopped and started making art of my own characters, whether or not this book comes into fruition. It was important for me to do that. Um, and then, like, I want to start doing, like, I want to get back at some point to just making fan art
Yeah.
because that's what everything started from. It was just fan art. And then it was, it's obviously like a literal business. Like, I file taxes for art. And then I think I had too many expectations and too many, like, and art isn't something that is just like I click a button and it's done. Like I have to put a little bit of myself into it. There's
Yeah.
vulnerability. There's like, well, what if I'm just like, what if this painting isn't what they want? Um, Anything like that. Like there's someone else's opinions are very involved, and like that's hard to deal with as like a neurodivergent with rejection sensitivity dysphoria. But like I've worked past it, but I think I just need it. I need eventually. I want to get to a space where I'm artistic for nobody but myself. Like maybe I'm posting it, whatever. Like I've started doing embroidery, just like absolutely will never monetize it. Like I needed something that had nothing to do with earning anything. So I've been doing embroidery and that's been fun. I made like, oh, I can't say a gift for someone who will probably watch this video and then wonder if it's them. don't worry about it. Um, but like, I don't know, like it's good. I'm finding those avenues of like trying to find like that joy back in it of where I'm not paralyzed by the fear of disappointing someone. Because
Mm.
the burnout started because I'm like, I'm late on this. I'm disappointing someone. Um, and like, I think I need to get back to that spot where I can like make the ugliest thing in the world and it won't matter.
Yeah.
Because yeah, and I think like that's going to be really healing for me. So I'm getting there. I still have some projects I'm working on and I'm excited about all of them, but it's just like I think 2026 will be the year of like shit posting art of just like whatever the hell I want.
I love that.
Yeah.
I so like with my projects, like I do logo and branding for
Yeah.
authors. And so like I read the book before I do anything because
Mhm.
it's part of my process. Like I want to feel like I'm in their world kind of a thing. But and I also developmental edit books.
Mhm.
So all of my reading, which was my joy thing, it
Yeah.
was the thing that I did just for fun. Now it is
Work.
completely monetized. Like
Yep.
every book that I read is 100% chosen for me. Like I do not choose my books anymore. And so I started being very particular about reading like tiny little novellas
Mhm.
and like forcing myself to insert them in between projects because I needed something that I didn't have to critically think about. Because every time I read for this, I'm like critically thinking. I'm like,
You have to.
okay, yeah, you have to, especially because it's like if you're creating art from this, I have to critically think about the world you're creating and then make it some words look like that world. Like
Yeah.
I like I have to create critically think and then especially for
Well,
editing
you have
obviously.
to. Yeah.
Obviously. And so like I've been forcing myself to like find the little pieces of joy that I can still have within
Mhm.
this space. Obviously everything brings joy. Like I'm very lucky to be able to do
Oh yeah.
this as a job. Obviously. But like those little things it's like things that keep me going is reading those tiny little novellas, 100-page kind of books. Because it's like it just jump starts me into the joy of it all.
Yeah. No, like that was really, I think, what happened. So they say like once you monetize your hobby, you need a new hobby.
Yes.
Well, so I monetized art. So reading was a hobby. Um, but then I started writing, which took away from reading time because I can't read and write at the same time. And then I technically have not monetized writing yet, but let's be clear. But the goal is monetizing the writing. And so I'm like, okay, I don't have a hobby because everything is, it's me, like it's like I need to earn on everything I'm doing. And that was a big thing. Like I need something that is like I still read and I'll go through bursts where I'm reading a ton. But when I'm in the middle of editing a book, I can't read a ton because my brain is like dead. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, so it's like I relate to that a lot in that you're like, okay, if I'm reading what's been chosen for me, then what is my hobby? Like I need something, I think that's what like I joke about having too many jobs. Like maybe I want to get back to just at least for a little while, like art as my hobby. Because it started as a hobby, 100%, $0 earned. Um, and so like I want to eventually get back to that spot where it's just for fun. And like, of course, like I still want to work with like certain people. Like I have like really great art partnerships. Doesn't mean I'm not going to do commissions, but I just know my time needs to be balanced differently. Um, like yeah. So you with your novellas and me hopefully making really weird doodles or something. It's going to be great.
Yeah. I really want to find a hobby that has nothing to do with books. Like
Yep.
I really want to find something, but I just need to find time in the day to do that.
That's where they get you. The clock.
Because the
Big
last
time.
the last 3 days I've had a total of I think 14 hours of sleep. So I'm tired. I don't have time to sleep, let alone make a hobby that has nothing to do with the
Yeah.
responsibilities I have. So, it'll happen. It'll happen.
You and I, we will get there.
We will
I've
get
like
there.
accountability buddies, accountability
Yes.
buddies. We,
Yes.
um,
2026, we're gonna do
our
this.
year. We got this. Fine. Yeah. So,
I'm just thinking about all the projects I have in 2026 already. We're not gonna.
I'm thriving. I'm doing great. It's
It's
fine.
great. It's great. Everything's
Everything's
fine.
fine. We're fine. I'm fine. All is well. I am a very balanced human being who can
Super
do many things
balanced.
and everything I want to do all at once while maintaining
Oh,
things like friendships and mental health.
everything. And be a presence online and show up positively. Make sure my husband knows I love him.
Yeah.
All those things.
Back and
Yeah, I
forth.
can do it. I can do it all
It's
at
fine.
once. We just crawl under the
Now,
table.
I laugh at myself because I keep writing about Latina women who are overworked, as if and like working through my like. I am a Latina woman who is overworked.
You said self-insert where?
Yeah, and I'm like, oh no, I'm writing another overworked Latina woman. How did this happen? Who could have predicted this?
Where could it have come
I don't
from?
understand this inspiration. I don't know any of these characters.
Oh my gosh. I feel this so heavy. Yeah, 2026 is the year for us to find things to do just for ourselves.
Like maybe I'll get really into bird watching or something. Who knows? The world is my oyster.
I need something that doesn't result in a product. Like you
Exactly.
said, embroidery, which sounds so much fun, but it's
It
still,
still is an end product, yeah.
and I
Yeah.
can't. Like bird watching sounds great. That sounds,
Like
I
I'm
wish.
like really considering this as like I because the birds don't care about my job. They
They don't
don't know what
care.
numbers are. They've never heard
Mm-mm.
of taxes. They're so free. They just
So free.
fun.
Yeah.
I think
We
I
just,
would thrive if my brain was the size of a marble, like a bird.
my favorite animal is a jellyfish because they really just,
They vibe.
they vibe.
See, I'm like the opposite. My favorite animal is the elephant, and they also go through a lot of emotional trauma.
Girl, what are you doing?
Hey, your favorite animal picks you. You don't pick it.
That's
Uh,
fair.
I picked the one
That
who has morning rituals. It's fine.
I picked the one that just exists. Also, but I will say I'm terrified of open water.
Me too.
So,
It's like thalassophobia.
oh yeah, like absolutely horrified. I grew up in California. I will still go to the beach, but like in
I'm
just
like
this.
up to the knees.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. But open water scares the hell out of me. So,
absolutely hard pass. Hard
hard
pass.
pass.
Yeah, no, nope, not for me. I,
0%. I hate the videos of like you see like top down of the
but,
way. Yeah, you
but
know exactly what I'm saying. I'm like,
no,
get out
no.
of my face.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Look, Ocean is a beautiful, majestic, like woman, but I don't need to know her business. It
That's
is
on
not my
her. Yep.
business. What she
Has
has
nothing to
going
do with
on
me.
underneath there is outside of my scope.
Yep.
Like my, I'm a land dweller, and
Feet on the floor.
yes, and I respect the water. She may keep her mysteries. They're not for me. They're not for me.
I have no desire. I
Not
have no desire to know. I have
yeah,
no.
not for me. And the great news is I'm not even medically allowed to scuba dive, so that pressure is off my back.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's like
Beautiful.
so. It's like, oh, you want to invite me into your cold depths? Sorry, I physically can't. My doctor said no.
They
When
said no, sorry.
go get a PhD or MD or whatever, and then tell me, and then maybe I'll consider it. But the ocean does not go to school, so she cannot tell me to come inside.
She doesn't want it. She
No,
doesn't.
no. And so I from afar, maybe a nice sunset over the ocean. Love that for her.
Love that.
Yeah.
But that's about all I want.
Yep.
A
Yeah.
good little sunset from afar.
Yeah.
Fantastic. I'll
Beautiful.
be on the sand.
Yep. Or I will be in like the little roped off alcove of crystal clear seawater that not even fish can get through, but it's outside of a hotel resort. And there's other people to sacrifice to the sea gods first.
In other words, a pool.
Yes. Yes, yes. My parents live on a lake. Um,
I also don't fuck with lakes,
I know,
so
but I'm like getting used to this lake. But I am the wimp who wears like water shoes in the lake because I'm like, I don't need her touching me.
no.
I respect the lake, but it took 2.5 years for me to go in the lake.
My grandparents live on a lake, and since I was 9, they have lived there. Ask me if I've ever been in the water.
Have you ever been in the water?
Fuck no.
Respect. Respect.
Could not pay me to get in that water.
So, yeah, I mean, to be fair, I have very, very valid reasons in that for a time I lived in northern Florida, which is swampland.
Yes.
And one time, and I'd swim in the river, and there were alligators in the river.
Oh, oh,
And
fun.
one time, something touched my foot, and it turned out to be a manatee, which love her, sea cow, beautiful queen, scarred for life because I thought it was an alligator. And I was about 8, and my life flashed before my eyes, and I was like, into the dark, briny depths of the St. Johns River. This is how I end. And it was manatee. But that was like, I was like, you know what? This isn't about me. This isn't for me. I've chosen the path of land. Um, and I think that's my right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
My reason, I don't know if I can really say on the camera. I have a very, very large fear of dolphins. And
Respect.
there's a lot of lore behind
Yeah.
that, but we don't need to
Dolphins
get
are,
into
yeah, no, dolphins are,
terrifying.
their brains are too big. Their
Way
brains
too big.
are too big.
I was in high school, and okay, so you know you're talking about your favorite animal is
Mhm.
like chosen for you.
Yeah.
So I was in my like psychology class in high school, and everybody had to pick their favorite animal. And so like I picked a jellyfish, whatever, we all picked, and then one girl picked a dolphin. And then my psychology teacher, having no boundaries, um, said a not fun fact about dolphins. And my obsessive brain can't let anything go. And so I heard that and was like, I'm going to research
Yeah.
everything about this.
Yeah. 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 Yep. And
And
you had a very spongy prefrontal cortex that absorbed it all. Yeah.
and a lot of Reddit deep dives at
Mhm.
17 years old should not have happened. Should not have happened. So terrified of dolphins, terrified of open water. Couldn't catch me.
Yeah.
Couldn't catch me.
And that one day will save us from what? Who knows? But it will. Our survival instincts are telling us something. So like,
Yeah, they're
we're
better
gonna do
than
that.
others.
We're just evolved. Fine.
We're crying because we're doing too much, but we're not going to go in the water, so we're
Not gonna
good.
burnout may get me, but the ocean won't.
That's the title of this
I
episode.
yeah. I am my own worst demon. I don't need to introduce anything else from your horrid dark depths.
Yeah, no, you got it. Everyone's like, but don't you want to know what's under there?
No,
No,
absolutely not. I do not want to
not
know
even a little.
in space outside of cool stars. I don't want to know what's deep in the earth. I don't want to know what's deep underwater. I would like
Nope.
whatever is in my immediate eyesight.
That's
And
it.
I don't even have 20/20 vision, baby. So that's pretty narrow.
Let me go ahead and take these off, and then
Now we're
that's
talking.
you get me. You
Yeah,
get me.
this is good
This is
trauma bonding.
yeah,
Love.
dude. I trauma bond way too easily.
Yeah.
Literally, I will meet people for the first time, and I'm like, let me tell you every bad thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah, you see, I was the same, but then I was a crisis counselor for 3 years and was like, too much. Too much.
What haven't you do? What haven't you done?
I'm really bad at sports.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Has it ever been a sport you
yeah,
like?
I used to be really good at soccer when I was quick, but your girl has autoimmune issues, so all of a sudden when I hit puberty, my joints said, no.
None of that.
I had no depth perception and noodle joints. So my sport in high school was the newspaper.
I was in a yearbook in high school, so
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my extracurriculars were very written word and art focused. There was absolutely nothing of coordination involved. I didn't get glasses till I was in my 20s, but I should have had them before because my vision was clear, but no depth perception. And we really sealed that when I was in mandatory PE playing baseball and the ball was coming right at me and right in the forehead. And I was like, yeah, this isn't for me.
Hard pass.
Yeah. But like, I like watching some sports. I'm very picky. Like my husband he's a soccer guy, but very specifically English Premier League. Which is, you can probably see just a little bit of this, but this is a signed Wayne Rooney kicking a goal. I'm really good at gifts. So I got him from his favorite, like there's a lot of signed Manchester United stuff in the house.
So that's my dad's favorite team. So I've watched, well, my dad has watched at 4 a.m. for like my whole life. Yeah.
I have, well, if I panned over here, there's more signed stuff, but on our honeymoon, we got married in Scotland, but then did like Scotland, England, Ireland by train with like $5 for the honeymoon broke. But we went to one of our guests was a Manchester United game, so like I had like the signed tickets and like the signed Sir Alex Ferguson final, blah blah blah. So it's like we got that around the house.
That's so cool.
I do not partake in the sports. So when people are like, "Oh my God, you're talented at things," I'm like, "Yes, but I have crippling anxiety and no coordination." So. Like, and God said, and you have psoriasis. So I'll like,
you know, you win some, you lose some.
Yeah. Nobody's perfect. And I just don't advertise everything I'm terrible at.
Yeah. Except for on this podcast.
But that's okay because I'm humanizing myself to the masses.
Humanizing. You've heard it here first. You've heard her here first. She's a real girl, everybody.
I'm a real girl.
She's just like us.
Rise.
Oh my gosh.
This is my, well, I used to have really short hair, so this is like, but this was my, I need change, I'm burned out, and I chopped my hair last week, so this is the debut of her, hey, at least she didn't go hot pink hair again in corporate world, so like, I didn't get anything tattooed or pierced, like this mental breakdown is pretty profesh.
Honestly.
No.
Wow. Only a haircut? That's
really proud of myself.
That's really good.
I'm doing really good. Instead of like blowing up my whole life, I'm like, hey, Danny, who is a friend / my hairstylist, I'm like, we're chopping. She's like, okay, I'm here for you, babe.
Wow, and you didn't even do it at home.
No.
Where did you go?
I have wildebeest hair where it is from afar tame and beautiful. You get up close, it will stampede. I have Latina hair, but in the way that is not desired by many, in that it is copious and unruly unless it's professionally tamed. And Danny, I love Danny. Shout out to Danny. She's my babe. She can tame it. I love her, and she did this for me because if I showed up with my own hair chopped, she would probably stab a scissor through my temple. And she did say, though, if I'm ever kidnapped, to cut bangs because she knows that I can't have bangs. I have cowlicks. I cannot have bangs. So she would know that's a cry for help. So if I ever showed up with bangs, like truly, like someone needs to call 911.
Got it.
Yeah.
We will make note of that.
I have a widow's peak with cowlicks on either side. It does not look good.
Oh my God. Have you ever had bangs?
When I was a small child, yes. And I'll send you a photo of it. It's really cute. It's like the two little antenna. But it's like adorable on a 3-year-old, less cute on a 31-year-old. You're like, baby, are you okay?
Oh my gosh. I do my hair at home, all of it. I dye it at home, cut it, all the things. But I've had pink hair for the last like 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, it's not growing anymore. Shocker. I bleached it for that long. It's not growing. So I'm letting it grow and then cutting and then letting it grow and cutting until.
Yeah, I was pink for a good chunk of like 2021 through like 2024. But there's the upkeep. There's just so much upkeep. And like I have really dark hair. And then I started getting gray hairs last year. So I made the choice to dye them to brown.
I love my gray hairs. I want my whole head to go gray.
Oh, see, I know things. I could pull off streaks or like all over gray, I think I'd look really chic. But they're at the point where they are like glittery white, and I have dark hair, and it'll be like one baby hair of like gray, just like, and you're like, announcing to the world because
Well,
it.
don't they have like the tinsel extensions now? So just pretend it's that.
It's just really weirdly placed tinsel. It's not strategic at all, and not all in one place. Though I do get like three right, just like right in the back of my head. I'm like, why?
I
Why?
I have them like right here. So they absolutely twinkle in the
Yeah.
skylight.
But I feel like your natural hair is at least a little bit softer toned, so it's like I can't see them. So you're
Oh,
good.
great.
Yeah. Not that it's bad. I think there's something like gray hair is cool. I still get carded buying drinks, so I wasn't ready for to have gray hair and a baby face. It's too much. Like pick a lane.
Pick a lane.
Like okay, like, let's be real. I'm next at my age, but like generally speaking, I mean like I have makeup on and my hair is done, so I look probably decently my age. But generally speaking, when I'm not wearing makeup, um, I get mistaken for a college student or a high school student often.
It's not a bad problem to have.
No, but it's like hard because like when I'm leading like a corporate leadership meeting,
Oh, yes.
and then I'm like, "Hi, listen to me. I went to school for this," and you're like, "Where's your mother? Did you sign in? Do you need a homework pass?" Like
Did
when the
you
time
sign in?
like the time I literally ran an internship program at a Fortune 500 company and got mistaken for an intern all the time. All the time.
Um,
One time I was in an elevator and it was like the last day of the internships, and this one lady turned to me who I had ridden this elevator with for years. She goes, "Are you sad it's your last day?" I'm like, "What do you mean it's my last day?" She's like, "The internships are ending." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the internships that I run. I'm the intern runner. It's fine. I've seen you every day for years. Did you just think I started here in high school and just interned all year round?"
what the hell?
It was rough.
That's valid. When I used to work in an actual job, I had pink hair.
Mhm.
And when I have pink hair and like without tattoos, I look like I'm 12. And so like I was like the manager of like a whole store, and like they would call a manager to the front and I'd go up and they'd be like, "Who the hell is this?
Why is this child here?
Why did you bring this child up here?"
Why is there a prepubescent tween in my store right now?
Literally.
Yeah.
This infant is not about to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I could run this whole store with my eyes closed. Get out of here.
But it does come in handy sometimes. Like when there's a salesperson at the door, I just like, "My mom's not home. I'm sorry. I own this home. My mom is not here ever, except she's visiting." But like I can just be like, "I'm so sorry. I was told not to talk to strangers." And they're like, "We understand." And they leave.
That's fantastic, actually.
Yeah. And I do use it to my advantage when I go into like auto part stores, because I'm a strong woman. I could find my own stuff, but I don't want to. So I just do the whole, "I have this list and I need help." And
Please.
they find everything for me. And then they put it in my car because it's too heavy for my dainty little child arms. It's great.
I'm just a little girl.
Oh, like I know I shouldn't be weaponizing my incompetence or anything and like anti-feminism, but I think feminism is a choice, and I choose to act this way only specifically at AutoZone. At Home Depot, if anyone approaches me at Home Depot, I'm like, "I know this place better than you do. I can weld because I can."
Honestly, if it's weaponized incompetence against men, I think it's allowed.
Fair. Yeah, no, I'd be like, I'm like evening the scales a little bit.
Exactly.
Um,
They
but
did
yeah,
it to
like,
their wife when they got home. So,
right. I'm like, so don't bother me in Home Depot, but if I'm in AutoZone, please help me and do it for me. I'm like, "I don't know what an oil filter is. Help.
I've never seen that in my
What is
life.
this? How do I know what year my car is? I don't know."
Love to see it.
Yeah. Look, if I take back my power in whatever way I can.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love this.
Oh, this is gonna
Oh,
go out like AutoZone like officially blacklists me.
yeah.
But I make them feel
We
good
know
because
what you did.
I'm really nice to them. I go, "Oh my God, thank you so much. You made my whole day so much easier." Because they did, because I didn't have to work.
You're for the people.
Just a girl.
You're just a girl. Oh my gosh, this has been so much fun. Are you ready to do our Goblin's favorites?
I am.
And now it's time for Goblin's favorites of the episode. All right, we're gonna get started with our Goblin's favorites. You can go ahead and go first.
Okay, so I brought props. And technically I was only supposed to choose one thing, but I don't follow the rules.
Good.
Yeah, so I have 3 books in front of me that I think people need to read.
Perfect.
Book 1, Not Safe for Work by Nisha J. Tuli. A hoot. A diverse read. We're telling people to read diversely. Do it. It's beautiful. And they like hook up and it's like in Hawaii and it's got like workplace romance. Like, oh no, it's great and it's hot. And like the cover's cute. Read it. Book 2, Love is a War Song by Danica.
I have that one too.
Twins.
And oh look, I have her first book. Look at us go.
Yeah, cowboy romance, but like legit, like native cowboy, and it's great. It's Hannah Montana the movie, but like for adults. And then the 3rd, I will caveat this by saying I have not finished it yet because it's really hard to read while I'm writing, but really, really enjoying this. And I wanted to make sure I shouted out an indie book on here too. Lisette Marshall's The Death Made Prince. So Lisette is a gem. She's from the Netherlands and we met at a Polycon and became besties because I work for a Dutch company. And then she's like, oh, I understand. I'm like, yeah. And then so she sent me this and yo, it's so good. Like it just came out, I think last month. It's the Rune Witch Saga book 1. It's just good, guys. You just need to read it. And
I love that.
Like, and I just know like I'm in it. And when I finish it, I'll be like, oh my God, Lisette, you're so amazing. But I'm just like hoping, because by the time this comes out, I'll probably have finished it. And then I could be like, see, I told everybody it was amazing. But yes,
foreshadowing.
I am. I'm future telling for myself. But I do think like, so everything Lisette writes is like fantastic. So I'm just like getting ahead of the curve. This is her newest series and it needs to be read.
Amazing, Rex. Thank you so much. Okay, I don't own my book, so my husband's gonna put a little picture right here.
I love that. I love that.
But it is called I live on KU, so like that's just my life. But my book is called A Sea of Song and Sirens by Whit Stanfield.
Heard of that one.
It's so good. So book 3 just came out. I've only read book 1, but oh my gosh, like the first I don't know how many chapters it is. Maybe it's like the first like 9 chapters, but something happens like really early on in the book and I had to stop what I was doing. I threw my Kindle. I went into the bathroom and I like recorded myself a video of me to her and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me with this shit?" Like I was so upset.
I respect the visceral reaction.
I was upset. I feel like I get asked a lot of times to read books just because of that, because that is how I react to everything. I don't do anything in a calm way.
As you shouldn't. It is your right to have feelings.
Yeah, I'm just a girl, remember?
Just a fucking girl.
But it's so fucking good. It ended on a crazy cliffhanger. Like, yeah, it's so good. Highly rec. It's like mermaid kind of vibes, islands, all the things. I don't want to say anything because like literally like that plot twist happened so early in the book and I was shook to the core. So I'm excited for other people to read it because it's so good. But yeah, that's my rec. Okay, I would love to give you some time to shout out anything you're working on, anything you want people to know, whatever you'd like.
Yeah, so I will say one thing I am working on right now, which I will get to, I promise. By the time this comes out, it will be done. I'm working on art right now for an indie author writing a sci-fi sapphic sort of like space vibes. It's called Death Between the Stars by Nico Vincenty.
Okay.
So I'm really stoked about it. And like I love working with indie authors, obviously. But it comes out in December. Okay. So I'm like, shout out to that. I'm really excited from like the scenes I've read to like get into the vibe because we're going with Sapphic Yearning for the piece I'm doing. And
I'm just so excited.
I think that's an important selling point. Sapphic yearning in space. And I think there's a ghost.
Sold.
Yeah. So working on that. But then otherwise, like working on my own stuff. Like I'm writing, almost finishing my second book. And like hopefully by the time this comes out, it will be with beta readers. And if it is not, I'm giving permission to my emotional support Gen Z, Molly, to shame me. She has one chance to shame me, but she's literally in my phone as emotional support Gen Z, Molly. And I need her to hold me accountable. So I'm shouting this into the void that if she's not beta reading by the time this happens, because I assume this was what, December when this was going to potentially.
Yes, I know the date, but not off the top of my head. But yeah, sometime in December.
So shouting out for myself, hey, future Alicia, you did such a great job. You are so good at editing. You made this book happen and people are really going to like it and you're beautiful. And wow, your hair looks so good today, Alicia. Have you considered looking like this all the time? Because it's working for you. Yeah, those are my shout outs.
Beautiful. That was incredible. Love to see it. That's exactly how I want every podcast to be ended. Oh my gosh, it has been a blast having you here. Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you later. Bye.